Hey guys, if this is your first time on my channel, you are welcome. Before we go any further, why don't you just subscribe? Super simple. You just click the subscribe button and you're done. Like, literally. I'm at 700 subscribers and I got 300 more to go before I get to 1K. So hit that subscribe button, share with a friend. Do what you gotta do to help your girl get ahead. Okay. If you're a returning watcher, welcome. You already know the deal. I haven't posted in a while just because I've been so busy with school, been so busy with so many different things that I'm doing right now that I actually haven't had time to consistently post. So I apologize for that. I'm going to try to be more consistent. And now that I'm graduating, I'm not going to have P-sets to do and stuff to turn in. So I should have more time to post and do all that fun stuff. And because I would have graduated, I probably will start doing or being more creative with the kind of stuff I post, because I'm gonna be a whole adult doing adult things, you know. Alright, so today this is another addition to Seun's Diaries. Today I'm going to talk about disappointment, just because that's something I definitely went through not too long ago actually, and I had been meaning to make a video about it, but like I said, I hadn't been having time. But now that I have time, I want to just share with you guys kind of my most recent disappointment, and also encourage others who are disappointed right now. So I'm going to start off with a story before I get into kind of like Bible verses and kind of like my motivational talks. So basically, there was a full-time job that I was interested in applying to that I really thought I was going to get the job. It was a position to be like a TA for a full year for the bio department, for the bio core. And I had my heart set on this job because I felt like they needed more minority representation in the job. I felt like I could bring so much to the position. Like, I love mentoring people. I love helping people do better in school. I love helping people build confidence in themselves. And especially pre-meds of color, I want them to feel confident in the classes they're taking. So for me, it was just like, this is the perfect job. I get to mentor like I always do. And I'll be like teaching biology, which is great for like prepping for the MCAT and like, you know, just kind of preparing myself for medical school anyway. So to me, this was like the perfect job for me. And I knew almost everyone in the department, or at least most of the people on the hiring committee. Not to say that I thought that knowing people was going to get me the job, but I felt like literally anyone who knows me, even my friends, my boss, everyone who knows me know how much I wanted this job and honestly how well qualified I thought I was for the position. So there was like 2 or 3 rounds of interviews. I went through all the interviews down to the last interview, and the last interview was basically preparing like a teaching lesson, and I spent all night preparing my teaching lesson. Like, I did not sleep until like 3, just practicing and practicing and practicing. And then the next day I woke up early to practice some more, and even like after my classes, in between my classes, I was practicing. So I go and, you know, do the interview and everything. And a couple days later, I found out I wasn't offered a position. And that, like, in the event that someone else, like, didn't want the position that they offered them, I'd probably be, like, the alternate. And to me, I was crushed. Like, first, there was, like, so many things going on through my head. I was like, are they kidding right now? Like, is this, like, some kind of joke? Like, LOL, we just kidding? You got the job? And, like, another part of me was just, like, feeling like, so I'm not good enough to get the position in the first place, but I'm good enough to be like a backup plan if someone else doesn't want the job. So needless to say, I was like crushed. And this was literally the day right before like finals, or like I found out the weekend right before finals were about to happen, and I was just crushed. And the thing about me is, like, when I'm super sad or when I'm very like my mind is somewhere else, I cannot study. I can't focus on school. I can't focus on anything. So that entire day I found out, I was just crying in my bed. I would not get out of bed. I was just crying. I texted my parents telling them how disappointed and sad I was, and like everyone, all my friends, everyone was shocked that I didn't get the job. And I was just so sad, because this was like the one position the one full-time job I relied on getting after college. And that's not to say I wasn't applying to other stuff, but this was my like dream job, quote unquote. And this was the, like, you know, job that I had my heart, my mind, everything set. Like, I had already started planning my post-grad life around getting this job. And when I didn't get this job, I felt like, well, there goes my whole life plan. And I was very angry. After being disappointed, I was very angry at everyone on the hiring committee. Like, I don't know, part of me felt so betrayed. Like, my advisor was on the hiring committee, and the fact that, like, I didn't get the job, not to say that, like, maybe he did fight for me, maybe he didn't, but this idea of, like, if you're truly my advisor and you care about me and you care to see me succeed, why didn't you check in when you knew I didn't get the job, right? And there was no, like, correspondence on his end, didn't say nothing to me, didn't reach out saying, hey, I know you really wanted this job, because he knew how bad I wanted this job. So I was so angry. I had a lot of hurt, anger, disappointment, and I was just, like, over all of them. And I was especially mad because they told me right before my finals, and I'm the kind of person that I don't like anything interfering with my finals or interfering with me studying. And this was a big, like, distraction. So I was just angry, mad for a lot of reasons. But nonetheless, my parents were like, you know what? Yes, it's sad. And, you know, that's life. You don't always get what you want. The things you think you deserve the most are not the things you get in life. So nonetheless, this left me still unemployed. So I kept applying for jobs. Like, at this point, I'd been applying for so much, and I hadn't been getting anything back. I barely got interviews, barely got anything back. I was, like, sending my cover letter and resume. Like, as of right now, I've probably applied to, like, over 40 jobs. I kid you not. And after this disappointment or whatever, I had two, like, prospects. Like, I had 2 interviews for 2 different, like, things. And I was just like, I guess I have to just continue with that. And at the time, a friend had sent me a job posting back home that I was like, oh, this sounds like something I'd like to do anyways. So I was applying, you know, going through those interview processes. And about maybe 3 weeks ago, there was an email sent out saying, hey, we're still hiring for this, like, fellowship. So basically, there was this fellowship that I had intentions of applying to back in February, but the day it was due, I was just like, ugh, I don't feel like doing this application, so I'm just gonna take the L and not apply, even though I did think there were some positions there that, like, I probably could have applied for. So I didn't apply, but then, like, I saw this email and it was like, oh, we still have positions open, and, you know, me and my unemployed self was like, let me hop on that, because why not? So I, like, literally responded back to the email, like, immediately, sent my resume, my cover letter, everything. And to me, it was just like, look at God, because the thing that I was supposed to apply for months ago that I didn't apply for, now, like, 2 months later, they're still hiring for, like, the position that I had initially planned on applying for. So for me, it was like, oh, like, God, is this you talking? I don't know, but let me just follow along. So I applied, and, like, I got an interview, and to me, the interview did not go well at all. I just felt awkward in the interview. I felt like I wasn't connecting with the interviewers, and I just felt like things weren't going right. So I left the interview, and I texted my boss. I was like, so your girl's not getting this job because this interview just went terrible. And then literally the week of my birthday, because y'all know I celebrate a whole week, a whole month, a whole year for my birth. The week of my birthday, I got a job offer from one of the jobs I had been interviewing for a while. Got a job offer from there. The day of my birthday, the interview for the fellowship that I thought didn't go well, they called me and were like, we want to offer you the position. And I was literally shocked because I thought the interview didn't go well. I didn't think they were going to pick me. I was just like, at least I can say I interviewed, if not anything else. So I was surprised when they, like, called and offered me the job. And then there was another prospect that, like, was gonna offer me a job too. So at this point, by the end of, like, my birthday week, I had, like, 3 different job opportunities, different places, different salaries, but, like, the fact that I had choice, right? And I say this to say I was so disappointed about not getting a certain job before, but I had no idea the plans God had for me, like, later. And I had no idea the kind of opportunities I would get. In my head, not getting this job equated to I was going to be unemployed and I was going to have to move back home and not, like, do anything. And then look at God, I got 3 job opportunities literally in just 1 week. Just in like 1 week I had to decide between 3 jobs, and which is a good problem to have, right? Like, they wanted to know soon, but it's like, it was a good problem to have that I never thought I'd see myself in, right? And for me, after not getting the job, I kept praying. You know, of course I was still bitter, sad about it, but at the end of the day, like, I can't keep being upset about something and not trying to move forward, not trying to make sure that I can get another job. So I did that, and lo and behold, your girl is gonna be employed full-time after graduation. And I'm just sharing the story to show that, like, with every disappointment eventually will come a blessing, and when one door closes, God is definitely gonna open another door for you, whether you know it or not. And I saw this thing on the internet, on this like website, on this blog, that like really spoke to me, and it talks about dealing with disappointment, and it has some Bible verses along with it. So I'm just gonna read some of the like tips, or like some of the things it said when dealing with disappointment that really resonated with me. So one of them was believing in God's plan for you, and there's this saying that says man plans and God laughs, and that's the same kind of, I think, mentality, where it's like you can have one idea of how your life is gonna go, but if it's not according to God's plan, your way is never going to happen. And I think that was the same thing for me too, where I was so sure of what I was going to do after graduation, so sure of like where I was going to be, who I was going to be working with, and what I was going to do. And like, God had different other plans for me. And you know, even after that disappointment, I believed in God that I was going to get something. Like, I was still worried, still disappointed, but in my heart, like, I think deep in my heart, I knew that God was not going to leave me hanging, that I was definitely going to get something, even if it took longer than I had expected. Another thing is grieving. It's okay to be upset. Like, when something doesn't go your way, it's, I think, human nature to be sad about it. Like, I cried for days, and I'm someone that when something bothers me, or when I get upset about something, I usually only spend a day kind of self-pity, being upset about it, and I usually bounce back the next day. But this time I was crying for days on end. I was like so depressed. I wouldn't get out my bed, I wouldn't eat, I wouldn't study, I wouldn't do anything, because I was just so hurt, so sad. Like, just my whole being, my whole spirit was crushed. So I like grieved it out. I allowed myself to have those emotions and cry everything I was feeling out. And I think it's very important to do that. It's very important to say, like, it's okay that I'm sad and it's okay to cry, because I don't think anyone wakes up saying, oh man, I just got rejected from something, but I'm happy about it because I know, you know, God got me. Like, yes, you may know God has you, but you're still going to be upset about it. And it's okay to embrace being upset about it. The next thing is pray. I am definitely a praying woman. Especially when I want something really bad, I pray and fast. Actually, I don't just pray, but I add fasting to it, because I feel like if I fast when I'm praying, somehow, some way, my prayer is going to get answered quicker. And I don't know if that's necessarily true, but that's what I do. I like pray and fast. And I kept praying internally. Every time I went to interview, I would pray that it went my way. Every time I had a phone interview, I prayed that it went my way. I prayed that, like, you know, I would stand out amongst all the other people interviewing. And I just kept praying and just hoping and believing in God. And I think that's what got me through. And like, if you're someone who believes in prayer, I think prayer can get you through too. The next thing is listen and wait, which I semi-agree with. It's definitely important to listen to hear God's voice, like when he's talking to you, and listen if he's trying to tell you something. And it's okay to wait on God, but at the same time, I think prayer without being proactive is kind of futile, right? You can't be praying for a job but you're not applying anywhere. Like, where's the job going to come from? So I think definitely listen and wait, but also make sure that you're being proactive, right? As you're listening to God, as you're waiting on him, you're also being proactive on your end, because God is not going to come down from heaven and submit your resume to different companies. So it's definitely important to like do your part while you're listening and waiting for him. The next thing is believe in yourself, which I think a part of me had a hard time doing, but at the same time, like, I didn't. Like, it's always nerve-wracking, very frustrating when you're trying to show employers to give you a chance. Like, I applied to a lot of research positions, even though I didn't have that much research experience. But my thing was, I'm hoping someone's gonna give me a chance, and like trying to believe in myself of like, okay, I can do this. I can get some kind of job. I can do something. And for me, I think at the end of the day, I believed that I had qualifications for something, right? I believed that I could get a job if I just worked hard. So I kept like I told you, I applied to like 40 places. So I kept applying because I like had confidence in myself and was like, okay, despite that I feel like maybe I'm not qualified. There was a lot of positions that I probably was not qualified for that I applied to, honestly, just because I'm like, what's the worst they can do to me at this point? Say no, not give me an interview. But I kept applying to stuff even if I felt like I was underqualified for it. So I really had like confidence and belief in myself of like, listen, who gonna stop me from applying? No one. So I'm really hoping you can take these kind of words of encouragement, like when you're dealing with something that you didn't expect to deal with, or when you're sad about something, you can like take these tips to help you, like believing in yourself, believe in God's plan for you, like pray, listen to God, wait on God, but still be proactive. All these things can help dealing with disappointment. And I didn't do all of them, honestly. I maybe did partially some of them, or like maybe all of them, but not like all the way, like not fully, if that makes sense at all. But I'm living proof that even when you're disappointed about something, you're gonna get something else. Like something else is gonna work out for you, like I promise you. And the Bible verse I have for today is, "For I know the plans I have for you, says the Lord. They are plans for good and not for disaster, to give you a future and a hope." Jeremiah 29:11. And this, I think, Bible verse is just the center of like my experience of trusting and knowing that I didn't get what I wanted, but God had something better in store for me. And even if I don't fully believe that right now, knowing that everywhere He leads me to is going to help me be successful. It's going to help me get to the place that He sees me at, and going to help me get to the place that I can be the best version of me. So it's really important to believe in God's plan for you. Trust the process. And I feel like you can't go wrong. But I definitely understand dealing with disappointment. It's hard. It's not easy. It's not fun. But you too will get through it. That is all I have for today. Be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Like, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Just do it one time for the one time. And then tell your friend to do it. Then tell your friend's friend to do it. And then tell your friend's friend to subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in another video.